What's going on, everybody? We are back again, building some dragons. And today, we are starting off, you can see the world's just loading in. I've just restarted in the game here. It's looking good, and I thought, let's start before the sun goes down. And I can show you this beautiful, beautiful shot that we've got over here. So, starting off today, I don't know how I've managed to land up with this angle here, but starting off today, what we're going to do is we're going to be adding in a whole new piece to this dragon. It's going to start turning out very, very well. And by the way, thank you everybody for the awesome support on the last one. It's cool to see people enjoying a slightly different build, a very different build. In fact, not slightly. This is probably as different from any build as I've ever done, including mountains. I mean, mountains, buildings, I think dragons take the cake. And what we're doing today is we're going to be adding on a whole new area. In fact, maybe perching ourselves up on the top of this will be the best option. So around here, look at this. It's looking pretty good. I think it's looking actually very good, to be honest. And thank you everyone for the suggestions and ideas about building organics and stuff like that in the comments of the last video. I'm definitely going to be taking quite a few of those tips and ideas into this because it's a weird build, and I think it's always important to look from a few different perspectives, of course. So what we're doing today is we're going to be adding in what I like to think of as like the armor plating kind of, but mixed in with a bit of the bone structure of this thing. So going around here, what I'm planning on doing is taking a little bit of a rib cage, and the idea that I can liken it to the most, and it's not really the same idea, but it's fairly similar, is to the dragons from Skyrim, which I'm sure many of you guys are aware that I absolutely love Skyrim. It's been a large inspiration for a lot of the ideas in this world, not necessarily the styles that we've used in this world, but the ideas for sure. And I think that's that definitely does show in terms of how we're doing things. Oh man, I know I can make this. I know I can make this jump. And I'll show you exactly what I've got in my mind in terms of this rib cage that we're going to be starting off with. So can we just land it up over here? Oh man. Okay, how about we start with the knees? That's a good one. So on the dragon here, I was planning on doing the rib cage and then doing some little knee guards. And I thought that would be pretty good over here if we can do that there. Beautiful. So kind of like, when you go rollerblading or, I don't know, skateboarding when you're a kid, I remember always having to wear these things that just protect your knees. And I thought that would be pretty cool for my, this isn't a roller skating dragon, but it certainly does need something to make it look a bit cooler. And I think these would, unlike when you're a kid, when you think it doesn't make you look cool, I feel like this is actually going to make it look cool. So let's have a look at this. Just a small thing. I was considering shapes and sizes from afar, and I think, yeah, something like that will be good. In fact, maybe a little bit larger to be very spiky. I think that's the overall feel we're going for, a very spiky look on this dragon. And can I stop over there? I can. And have a look at this one. But besides this, overall, the whole building in this over here and the whole building in this world seems to have a lot of enthusiasm behind it, which is awesome. And specifically when you're making your own builds like this, as I do, when you always do your own thing, you kind of start to kind of think whether or not you've got the right idea. And when people start getting as excited about a build as what I am already, I know it's going to be a good build. I can only hope, of course, but at least, you know what, people are enjoying it along with me, and that's the awesome thing. But I think it's going to turn out quite great. The other thing is, I think what we'll do is once we finish this dragon off, I want to also do a bit of building, like kind of normal building. Not today, but of course in the future we'll go back to our village very soon and not forget about that place. Yeah, that's a bit of a weird shape, but I think what I'll do, I think I can see the shape that we need very quickly from this one here. Oh no! All right, that is terrible. And we made it. It's starting to look a little bit like a, I don't know, Transformer sort of look in some weird way with these little pads around the places and little kind of odd bits on it. But this is what it's looking like. It's kind of weird actually from this angle that we're going at right now. But look at that. You can kind of tell it coming along there just a little bit. In fact, if I could just freeze it in like some point here to show you guys, I'd love to. And if you're wondering why I've got these effects, the night vision and what is that? Night vision and the water one. I can't remember it right now. But basically, we had to go doing some digging underground or underwater for some prismarine. Now, I thought prismarine would be a really cool thing to try out here. Where's the sun? We just slept. It's good. Basically, the idea with the prismarine is it's going to look very scaly. And I think that will be a really cool thing to add in onto this ribcage. Now, bear in mind, this ribcage actually doesn't look as bad as what it looked like from that angle we were coming at. It's just a very weird spot to have looked at it. Trust me, it's actually looking pretty good, I think. right now. So let's just fill this in a little bit. I was actually planning on doing a little bit of a heart for this dragon, which I thought would be pretty cool. Like a frozen over heart, which I think that's pretty awesome, personally. And what we're doing with this is we're going to be using a similar sort of technique, I guess, to get this textured up as what we did to the wings, where we've used the glass and the ice. So I think that'll look pretty good. Fun fact, I don't know if everyone knows this. I only found it out, I mean, not too recently, but not long ago, that if you have a look at prismarine, this block here, this very same prismarine block that I've got in my hand, it changes color. Look at that. It's all green right now, and it's so slowly. It's ever so slowly, but watch this. Just stare at it. It's going to go a little bit more blue. Wait for it. Wait. It's going to do it. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Okay, well there, it's going like a darker green right now. It messes with your eyes, because the first time you notice it, you don't really trust yourself. But then when you see it, and you just keep seeing it, look at that. Now it's going blue. How weird is that? I thought it was pretty cool. Just a really different little thing, I thought, which maybe not everyone knew about. Nice little thing to know about. So basically, these things that we're building right now, and this over here, is going to be the body, like the actual body protection for this dragon, I guess. The fake, well, not the fake, the natural armor, I guess, would be the thing for the dragon. Yeah, that'll look cool. So that's the first stage. Then, of course, what we're going to do, in fact, I'll fill up this side here with this prismarine. And the thought is, once we've got this prismarine in, we're going to have to detail it in some way. But I couldn't think, and I even tried in a creative world just to try and test out whether or not we could get something cool with prismarine before I went and dug it all up. And I thought prismarine would look pretty cool. And I couldn't seem to find something that matched the color of prismarine in terms of getting a good block to texture up with, along with what we've got here. So what I thought would be the best idea is that idea with the glass to texture up, and I think it's a very sneaky way of doing it. In fact, it works really well. So let's get a bit of that, and we get a bit of that. Well, actually, we need those and those, and this over here is our savior. The stained glass panes, and in fact, we'll probably have to do something like that. Then that there, and just fill these in like this. Not like those. These ones here, like this. So just putting those in around there, I think will make it look really cool. Well, I guess this is a reason for us to go back here. All right, turn around and yeah, that'll be cool. It's trust me, by the time we've got this done, we'll have it all worked out. It's obviously just a rough draft that we're going through, and then I just kind of get it chiseled down a little bit by little bit. Like this, for instance, we can probably knock that one out, and whenever we push this back a little bit, such as this one here, well, actually, we want one of these in there, like that. So whenever we push it back like that, we can just go back around this side and put another one of these things in. Or alternatively, I guess if we're doing the glass, in fact, we could probably get away with another color. But the real big difference with this dragon is going to be adding in that face. Think about where the dragon's going to be facing. Let's just go out here and picture it for a second. If the dragon's up here kind of asserting that it's in a fight, it's about to, I'm guessing about to be hit by a fireball from this one over here. How would its head be angled? I feel like it would probably be charging up for its own attack. That's what I'm kind of picturing. Because this one's definitely on the upper hand. If this one's on the mountain, that one's in fighting position. This one's at the lower end of the fight. High ground. Yeah, I feel like this one's on the winning side right now. So we probably have to have that shown. Now, maybe standing nice, tall, and proud with the head up here ready for this projectile that's coming from that one. That could be kind of cool. Just as a thought, I guess. And also from here, it's a little bit of a weird one. Let's go up. Okay, we don't have any ender pearls. Let's go up here. We should be able to get a slightly better view, at least. And another potential thing which we're going to do is potentially drop these arms down a little bit more and create more of a large, wide wingspan for this thing. So there we go. That's what we're kind of going to be doing. We're going to be filling in this piece here. And I'm thinking, now that I'm standing around this area, I might even drop those down a little bit, the rib cage over there. Just a little bit. And then what we'll do is once we've got this in, we're going to have to take in the legs and the tail and all that stuff with some skin or I guess kind of like scales for the dragon. And that's where I thought this prismarine would be good. However, we're going to have to really use this prismarine wisely because we can't overdo it too much. And I think the only way we'll get it to work is with a bit of glass involved in it. And I can't tell you just how much I love this thing. Look at it. It's starting to come along so well. We are running really low on prismarine, as in 2. That's what we got. So I'm going to have to get some more. I wasn't too sure about it, in fact, but I've been staring at it for a while. And I think despite the color changes, despite what's going on here, and I know it might seem like it pops out a little bit much with this green sticking out here, I think it does work really well. Let's go up to the top here, and I'll show you what I'm looking at from this side. Look at that. It's a very narrow waist, but I think that's the cool part about it. Having this very narrow waist will give it that really over-the-top look over here, like that. I think that'll give it a really cool look and shape overall. So, actually, in fact, I was kind of like a double dragon with me over here as well. So, let's go down here and check this out. Yeah. So, that'll look really cool. Now the next stage is the legs and the tail, of course, which is 2 really large... really large parts of this, because they can really go one of 2 ways, each of them. In fact, the tail's probably going to be a little bit of a weird one, considering we've got these weird curves to go horizontal with, where we're using the panes to create that equivalent of a half slab or something along those lines. In fact, I can't wait until we see what blocks come out in the next update. Of course, the 1.13 update from where we are right now. In fact, if we can get ourselves a prismarine wall. I never would have been one of the people to say I want a prismarine wall until I've got this thing. I could just tell you now, I would love a prismarine wall. I think that would work really well for me in this one. So that would be really cool. Let's just do another take now with that gone. By the way, this is kind of the method I've been using. Just fly out, fly back in, fly out, fly back in. I can't tell you how many of these rockets I've used. Yeah, that's definitely going very well. Now it's a matter of getting, obviously, that part in. The head is going to be one whole thing of its own. Picture that. Just looking out over that. Man, you feel like you're in this. If you're this dragon, you know this guy has got it coming. This guy's got a problem. I mean, when you're standing up here, tall, proud, looking over that. This, I feel like maybe we could even name this Eagles something. That looks really cool. It looks like an eagle or falcon, actually, probably more like a falcon, that kind of shape. I don't know why. Or a pigeon. Maybe a pigeon. But either way, it looks like a bird, and I can't keep looking at it and not thinking it's a bird. And it's even got like a little bit of a tail. If it just, I could probably pull that out a little bit more to look like a tail. But yeah, we need a name for this. So that's what we've got going on right here. Of course, it's just time until we can get this thing going. Now, before we forget about this crummy old place, I just thought I'd bring you in, show you what's going on around here. And by the way, we have been continuing on building in this city over some streams, so that's why a lot of stuff would be looking different. But look at that. This area, if you don't know which area it is, it's probably because we've missed a little bit. If you guys ever want to catch up, just keep an eye on our Twitch page for when we do go live. Of course, we stream pretty regularly. Just a little reminder for anyone who's new, anyone who might not know, or anyone who may have forgotten. We are streaming as well. So, around here, look at that. How much larger is this place looking with this little piece in here? I think that is probably one of the best things we've done recently, is around here, just pushing it up a little bit, making this town look a bit bulky, a bit more spread out, taking up the land it deserves. You know, it's definitely looking crazy right now, actually. Look at that. Imagine that side and that side done. Yes, that's definitely going to be good. I just thought I'd show you this because I feel like we might be forgetting. Hey, wait. Jansey's also got a town he's building. I actually really like this little piece here. The little trees, this little garden. I don't know why. I can't pinpoint why. I don't know why because it looks awesome, but I can't pinpoint what I think looks awesome on it to replicate. But right now, oh man, I love it. In fact, one thing I do really like, this isn't the reason it looks good, but one thing I like about it is this little tree here where we've used some acacia logs and some birch leaves to create a fairly generic tree. I think that looks like a better birch tree, to be honest, than anything else, than the standard birch at least. I thought that was a pretty cool little piece there to have. So we're going to go on our way back to the other place that we were just in, which isn't actually that far. And I guess because we've got a world download coming up reasonably soon, not right now, but soon enough, may as well just show you because it's actually a very short run from where we are right now. Giant arrow. That is how I found my way. Spawn is around this way. You can see that's actually spawn right there. That's our main base. Oh, well, our first base, not our main base. We don't even have a base, to be completely honest. In fact, it's kind of funny how often people come into my series, or at least into the stream, and ask why don't I make a base And honestly, I don't feel like a base is very necessary for me. I feel like realistically we have temporary bases, but no real bases. But here, this is this is something. I wanted to show you guys this. I was itching to show you guys this while we were in that last little piece, but I really just want to kind of turn around. Okay, never mind. It's not loaded in. Turn around. Let's try this again. Load, dragon. Look at that. Tail in, body in. Oh man, that's looking good. I'm actually loving the way this has turned out. I can't actually believe that we've got it close enough to what I'm thinking was an appropriate amount. Of course, we will always keep chiseling this thing down, getting this dragon to look as good as we can. But the shape is there. You can see it now. The head's just all that's missing. That kind of dragon roaring with a fireball coming out, or an ice ball coming out of its mouth, or maybe just a roar. I would actually be interested to see which one would be better, but in the end, I guess we can start with the roar, move on from a roar to a projectile, who knows. But look at that. Man, it's lacking one color, and I can't work it out. There's just something that I think could perhaps take this to another level, and really what I'm thinking would be more spiky looking things. And I know when I say that, the immediate suggestion that pops into your head, what is it? You know what it is. It's end rods. And no. 2 reasons. And reason number 1, we have ice. And ice melts when there's an end rod near it. Reason number 2 is they would just look a little bit silly kind of sticking off the edge. So there's the 2 reasons solved just like that. But pretty much those are the only 2 things that I guess the only 2 reasons I guess which would stop us, which is pretty much no build or that, yeah. So one other thing that I think we could do is potentially try and work in a bit of compressed ice into here. And it sounds kind of weird, but one little trick about compressed ice is in fact the fact that compressed ice has to be used as a single block because of its extremely repeating pattern. And I'm aware that there are new textures out. I'm not too sure for the compressed ice, but there's a new texture batch as we were using a few weeks ago, testing out some of those. And I think that they will definitely have some cool stuff for us to play around with in terms of that if we do give it a try. But of course, we don't want to have all the rest of the junk with it, so we'll have to try that out and see how it turns out. But man, look at that. So I've got a question for you. Tell me what you think. Is this dragon looking like a dragon? That's the question. Yes or no? Looking like a dragon, not looking like a dragon. And Jansey, you've wasted 10, 12 hours building a dragon. But either way, I'll guarantee you, the second one, if it's not looking like a dragon, it is important to let me know, because of course then I can work on. If it is, actually tell me what point you think needs a bit of work, because it's a weird sort of build. But besides that, I guarantee it won't be a waste. We'll have some pretty cool stuff going on in here. It depends on how long it takes us. However long it takes us is how long it will take, but we'll eventually get this thing looking good. In fact, one thing I'm incredibly surprised about, this is the biggest surprise of them all, is how well this prismarine actually works. It baffles me because I thought it was going to be way worse than what it looks like, and currently it's working great. And in fact, that little light blue clay, or light blue terracotta, it's looking good. It's looking very good in there. But for today, guys, what I think we'll do is, of course, finish off the episode now. I'm going to pretty much go to work on this tail piece here, just make a big bashing piece with the tail. I think like that'll be pretty cool for a dragon, specifically an ice dragon. I could probably do some really cool spikes off of that to make it look like an icicle-based dragon. I don't know. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.